What's up guys, Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, bringing you a brand new video today to show you what's on my feet in April 2017. April was that last month of preseason before the summer seasons get going, so I needed a good boot to wear to get into the season, to get going, hit that field rolling. So without further ado, let's see what was on my feet for April 2017. Alright guys, so in April 2017, I was wearing the Adidas Predator LZ. Now this is a shoe that came out in 2013. I picked it up years ago. I wore it. It was one of my favorite shoes ever. I wore it for the better part of 2013 and I believe even a little bit in 2014. I personally love this shoe. It just had a great fit. It was very, very comfortable for me and I liked everything that this shoe had to offer. So we're going to talk quickly about the upper, the tech specs, and just sort of how this thing fit and feels on feet. The Adidas Predator LZ came out in 2013 following the release of the Predator LZ in 2012, and that was the first Predator to move away from leather and instead use a synthetic material as its primary upper material, and it introduced the new 5 lethal zones. So you had 5 rubber elements on the upper of the shoe that just gave you a bit more grip and feel and touch on the ball. The 5 elements were the drive zone right here. That is a common piece on all Predators of the past. It always had this rubber element in this area of the foot, so that didn't really change. So you had the drive zone, you had the sweet spot zone, which they put down here just to give you a bit more touch and swerve on the ball when bending it. You had the pass pad right here, you had the first touch zone on the top, and you had the dribble zone out here on the outside of the boot. Now, in my opinion, all 5 zones actually made sense. They were in proper areas. They were in the right location, if you will. But in the end, they were just rubber elements. It wasn't going to make or break your touch or your ability on the ball. It was just rubber elements that they added onto the upper of the shoe to give you a bit more grip, a bit more touch, a bit more feel, I suppose, on the ball. And of course, that's all up to you, if you like that or not.
Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out.
The zones were sort of just reshaped a little bit for the LZ in comparison to the LZ1. The LZ1 just had lines all over the place, whereas the LZ sort of implemented these thicker, if you will, or just different shaped lethal zones. The one that changed the most is probably the pass pad right here. On this one, it's just a couple of lines going diagonally across the upper, and on the first generation lethal zones, you had this big sort of memory foam insert, which they called the pass pad. Now, if there's a zone you don't notice the most, or if there's an area where you don't feel the grip, it's probably this one, just because there's not nearly as much rubber on the inside of the boot as there is on all the other places. But all the other ones, they give you a decent amount of grip on the ball. If anything, it does take a while to get used to it. I can remember my first experience juggling the ball in the LZ1s. It just didn't spin back quite the same just because of the extra grip on the ball. So you do notice that extra grip, and it just takes a second to get used to it. Once I just, adjusted to how the shoe felt on the ball, I was able to control it whichever way I wanted to. It just takes that extra second to get used to it because you do have a lot more grip on these shoes. The fit was very, very good. I loved the fit of this shoe. It fit me really, really well. It was made of this hybrid touch upper material, so it was a combination of both leather and synthetic in one. You got the durability of synthetic, but the padded sort of plush feel of a leather shoe, and it stretched a little bit. It molded to the shape of your foot, and it was really, really comfortable. I like the cut of the heel. I like this design in the heels. It had an internal heel counter, and it had the sprint frame. So this stud pattern is one of my favorites. I've said that before. They kept this for the last few years. They're still using a very similar pattern to this today. You have the My Coach cell in here, which was a nice idea but never really caught on just because it was so expensive. Basically, you could buy this chip that you put into the bottom of the shoe, and it would, you know, tell you how fast you run, your fastest sprint, how far you ran. So it was a cool idea, but a lot of people didn't want to pay extra for that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So it was a great shoe. I wore this in my first 2 games of the season. It was a fantastic shoe. I loved it, and I still like the way this shoe feels. And every now and then I do go back to it, just like this year. So it was a great boot, and that was what was on my feet, guys, for April 2017. This was Mike McIntyre with All Things Sports. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Crossbar challenge. First take. Left foot.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you.
Thank you guys very, very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash that like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing for more videos. See you guys next time on All Things Sports by Mike McIntyre.